A day of intense and contentious negotiations as we mark the end of the second week of the government shutdown. Leaders from both sides met with President Trump today. Chief political correspondent Scott Thuman brings us up to speed from Washington.
A 2-hour meeting today at the White House, as high level as it gets, amid the only people who really can end the shutdown, although it's a little unclear how much closer they could be to a solution since there were two very different views of the same meeting.
I'm very proud of doing what I'm doing. I don't call it a shutdown. I call it doing what you have to do for the benefit and for the safety of our country.
President Trump standing firm, demanding money for a border wall, even saying if need be, he could build without congressional approval by calling it a national emergency, but not his preference.
How do you define progress in a meeting when you have better understanding of each other's position, when you eliminate some possibilities? If that's a judgment, then we made some progress.
But Democrats say ultimately there can't be any real negotiating unless the shutdown ends. And for that, there is no clear date.
In fact, he said he'd keep the government closed for a very long period of time, months or even years.
No confusion, though, about that part of the meeting. The president was asked if he made that sort of threat. He said, "I did say that. Absolutely, I said that. I don't think it will, but I am prepared." In Washington, I'm Scott Thuman.
Now, last night, there were two bills that were passed in the House of Representatives to reopen the government. They were funding bills, but did not include any money for the border wall. Both of Idaho's congressmen voted no on those bills last night. A spokesperson for Congressman Mike Simpson released a statement about that vote, says, in part, this fake attempt at governing will prolong the shutdown, and it is why Congressman Simpson could not support the bills on the floor yesterday. He is hopeful that Speaker Pelosi will soon put forward serious legislation that actually stands a chance of ending this impasse, so that the 116th Congress can get to work on addressing the country's other pressing challenges. Perhaps the biggest achievement today is to come out of Washington with a deal for leaders, both from the White House and from Congress, to work through the weekend, looking for common ground. Vice President Pence will oversee those talks.